Welcome to the Lesley and Lisa show. Today's hot topic is going to be the new polite.
We'll also have a word of the day.
And an amazing guest you won't want to miss.
Welcome to the Lesley and Lisa show.
Welcome to the Lesley and Lisa show. A working title because we haven't come up with anything else yet.
Correct.
Exactly. So I'm Lesley.
I'm Lisa.
And this is our online talk show because
Yeah, it is.
We just figured we're at home doing nothing else, so why not do this? Just to let you know, we are working actresses.
We're not currently working right now.
Okay, so we are working actresses who are just not working right now, which is just what you just said.
No, but I like hearing it all together.
Right?
Yes.
It's so frustrating, but it is what it is. And so while we've been on lockdown or sort of lockdown, we're in California, kind of like here and there, we figured why not do an online talk show? Because why not? I mean,
why not?
Everybody else is doing it. Why not?
Yes, it's time for us to jump on the talk show train because look, Lesley, I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
We like to talk.
This is true.
And we know a lot of famous people.
We do. And we also know real people, right?
Real people who are equally, who are equally as interesting as the famous people.
For sure. I mean, I consider myself a real person because I'm really not. There was a time in my life where I was just like a tiny bit famous.
Yeah, you were kind of a celebrity.
A little bit. Yeah.
And now you're just,
not anymore.
You're just doing a friggin', you're just a mom.
Just a mom.
Which, by the way,
is a whole other subject because we're not just moms.
Thank you.
That's the hardest job in the world. And we're especially now. And kudos to all the moms out there who are friggin' trudging their way through this shit.
That's right. And speaking of being a mom and living in quarantine and all that stuff, I just want to point out super quickly, yes. I'm in my bedroom.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you are.
Well, I don't have a lot of space in my house. It's all being used. Eventually, we're going to make something for me, like you have a little nook, but right now.
I have a little nook.
Yeah.
We're going to make you a little nook so that we're we're going to have some nookie.
Oh, God.
Anyways, all right, listen. So we decided to do this talk show, and Lisa and I, just so you know, have known each other since we were kids. I think I was 15, she was 13.
Yep.
I don't know, not long ago.
No, it's been like 12 years.
Yeah. And we talk a lot, though now that we decided to do this talk show, we find ourselves talking far more than we have in the last decade.
Yes,
right?
Which I'm frankly loving, just to be honest with you, Les. It might be the reason I'm doing the show is just because I get to talk to you more.
Oh, I love that. Me too, babe. I mean, honestly, I feel the same way. When I decided I wanted to do this, there was no one else that I could think of that I would want to do it more than you. Honestly.
Except for the other 3 people you asked first. Okay, so moving on.
Yes.
Listen.
I only asked one person before you.
I know. I just wanted to run something by you, okay?
Okay.
We are talking a lot more. We're texting constantly. And I'm just going to read our text chain from the other day because
I'm scared.
Leslie, it is the dumbest thing ever. Okay.
Oh God, I just snorted.
You were having a little bit of a rough day the day before. So here we go. Don't interrupt me.
I remember this day. Okay.
I say, you doing okay today? You say, I thought we were doing tomorrow. Today is going to be too hectic for me. I say, it is tomorrow. Just checking on you. Oh my God, you and I are too fucking stressed for this show. Then you say, based on me saying it is tomorrow, you say, wait, today is Tuesday? No, tomorrow is the show, LOL. Then you say, I thought we were just talking today to figure out tomorrow. Then I say in 4 separate panels, Lesley, we aren't doing anything today. I was just seeing how you are. Go back to your life. And then you say, oh my God, I read that as, are we okay for today? Instead of, are you okay today? And then I said, worst text thread ever. And you gave a little smiley face. So that's what we do.
By the way, I guess I am crying. I might even be piddling in my pants right now because I'm crying so hard. or rather because I'm laughing so hard. That, and only because right when you started it, I literally took myself back to when I read that first line that was like, are we gonna, whatever you said about today, and I read it as, oh, we're recording today. I flipped my lid because I was, as you can see, I was so cranky already.
Yes.
Right? I'm trying to do these middle school applications for my daughter. I am stressed out. And then you text in the middle and you're like, are we? And I'm like,
oh my God.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
And it also just shows
That's
us
hilarious.
that we never try to be a good friend and check in on you.
That's so good. Listen, real people, real stories.
Yes, exactly. Oh, maybe that could be the name of our show.
It could, but you know what? I think it exists on someone else's, so it's not.
So it can't be.
It's not.
Okay. Let's get to our
boring and just the Lesley Lisa show. Somebody has to actually help us with that title. We're going to make our guests help us.
Everyone.
All right, let's get to our, this is a talk show. We're going to have segments, and we're going to have great segments. So our first segment of the day is
Word of the day.
You say it so much better. Lisa, what is our word of the day today?
Our word of the day is fear. And the definition is an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. And I love that because imagined fear is just as palpable.
I think, by the way, I think imagined fear plagues most of us far more than the real fear.
Right. And I think
I really do.
We all need to work on because that's a huge waste of time and brain space and energy.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our first segment, but because time is of the essence at the moment.
Okay.
Our hot topic of the day that we announced at the top of the show. Let's show our little hot topic. Right?
Ready? Hot topic.
So cute. Our hot topic of the day is the new polite.
Right.
Let's talk about it. And we'll talk about it with our guest.
Yes, for sure. So what we mean by that is there's no more shaking hands. There's no more holding doors open. You can't smile at people in public because you have a friggin' mask on. So
it's so weird. I
so
can't touch people. I love to touch people.
So,
not strangers.
I wanted to talk to you about that. No, same. I'm very touchy-feely. I miss hugging and all that. But this is more about like out in the world with strangers, everything we were brought up with, be kind, shake hands, like all of that stuff, like it's out the window.
Yeah. It's all out the window. So you know what? We're going to talk more about it with our guest.
Yes.
But we've given the little preview of what our topic will be today.
Correct.
So let's intro our guest.
I'm so excited.
So excited to have her. She's an amazing woman. Did you pick up on that?
I did. I picked up on that.
I love it. Are you picking up on what I'm putting down? Okay. So she is an amazing woman. She happens to be the creator of The Amazing Race. She is a mom. She's an all-around amazing woman. She is my friend. We are having Elise Doganieri. So Elise, let her out of that dang waiting room. She's been in there so long.
Gonna let her in.
Fantastic. Oh, there's Elise.
Hi, Elise.
Hi, Elise. You look so pretty, and I love your background. Hey, check out, Lisa. Check out the corner. You see some Emmys. You see a ton of Emmys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
Well, that's some of them. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Between my husband and I.
How many?
Hey, wait.
We have 10.
You have 10 Emmys, but hey, I have an entire jar. Whoop.
M.
Good and plenty. I had to put a candy in the office that nobody would eat.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So Elise, we were just introducing you. I was just telling Lisa that you were the creator, or I guess co-creator, but in my mind, you're the creator of The Amazing Race. How the heck did you come up with The Amazing Race?
Season 32, by the way, correct?
Season 32. It's on the air right now, Wednesdays on CBS.
Has anything else been on for 32 seasons? Anything?
Not well, actually, yes. One other reality show, Survivor's been on a little bit longer than us, and also CBS. So we were bought around the same time, and The way I came up with the idea was I went backpacking when I graduated college with my college roommate, Lori Casey. And we went for about 6 weeks with very little money. I think we each had $1,000 for 6 weeks of travel.
Oh,
so
wow.
we stayed in hostels. We took the train and slept on the train. We basically just backpacked through Europe and did our summer trip that way. And it was probably the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. And we met incredible people along the way. It was my first trip out of the country. And, it's always stuck with me, that trip. It's left a lifetime of memories and a lasting impression. And I moved to Los Angeles in 1997. I met my husband, Bertram Van Munster, in 1995.
If I could cut you off for 1 second, I want you to know I'm a huge fan of the show. And every time I watch, without fail, when your husband's name comes on the screen, I go, Bertram Van Munster. So when
I am not surprised. It kind of like brings that out in people. He was born in Holland. He's got this amazing Dutch name. And
I love it.
I remember when we got married, he's like, I said, do you want me to take Van Munster as my last name? He's like, no, I really like your last name. You should keep your last name. So I was like,
he's very generous.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you meet him and you guys get married.
We actually got married in May of 2000. And that was actually, I'd started coming up with this idea a little bit earlier, but that's when we started pitching it, just after we got married. Bertram every year goes to a big conference in the south of France in Cannes, MIPCOM. And he came home and I was like, what's new in television? Because I was working in advertising. And he's like, I don't know, same old, nothing new, nothing exciting. And I was like, what is wrong with you people in television? Why can't you come up with something new and different, He's like, oh, you think it's so easy? Why don't you come up with an idea? And I was like, fine, I will. And I had nothing in my mind at that moment. But then he said, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to come up with something. I was like, okay, I love a challenge. But in that moment, this trip that I took with my roommate popped into my head. And I was like, what if we did a show with two people who know each other, traveling around the world, because there's always going to be drama, because I had a huge fight with my friend halfway through the trip. We were like over each other, because I was the one getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and she wanted to sleep in late. So there was instant conflict. So I was like, two people who know each other, we give them very little money. So there's a lot of stress about what are we going to eat? How are we going to get through this? And why don't we just make it a race around the world? And he said, oh, I like that idea. And
you're like, I'm fucking brilliant. I gave that to you in 5 minutes.
I didn't think anything of it when I kind of blurted it all out. And he's like, why don't you write it up? And because Bertram's been in television much longer than I was. He produced a TV show called Cops for many years, and he did a wildlife show, and he was a cameraman. He did commercials. And so basically I wrote it up because my background is graphic design. So I made this really beautiful presentation. And
oh my God.
Pitched it to ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and they all wanted in different variations, but CBS was the one that gave us the best, 13 episodes. Let's start right away.
And now they're on season 32. How many episodes how many episodes?
We're over 400 episodes at this point. I don't know. My math is not great, but 13 times 32. What is that? It's over 400 episodes.
I don't know. I'm too young and I'm not smarter than a fifth grade. You came up with that show in 5 minutes. Lisa and I don't have a title to our show yet. It's just the Lisa and Lesley show. So I don't have to put you on the spot now, but I expect you to come up with a title for our show
in the next 5 minutes.
By the way, we're trying to keep ourselves to a time. So if you hear an obnoxious timer go off, we're not going to probably kick you out just because you're too interesting. But when you hear it, it'll explain. Lise, do you have any?
I do have a question. First, I have a quick comment just as a fan. One of my favorite things about the show is that I don't think anyone can watch it without going, could I do that? Who could I do it with? Oh, holy shit, forget it. There's no way I could do that. And every challenge, I'm like, I friggin' love it. It's so ingenious. But so I want to know, and by the way, I never remember anyone's names on the show. So it's like the brothers, the boyfriends, the Tennessee guys,
Honestly, I will admit, I don't remember their names. I do remember the first and second season cast because it was the first time we did it and it left a lasting impression. And now I'm just like, oh, right. That right.
I
feel so bad.
But you shouldn't feel bad. It's too many friggin' people. It's 32 seasons. But are people, well, I want to know the casting process. Like, how do you find them? Like, who do you have to be to get on that show?
Okay. Because I'm involved in every aspect of the show.
Right.
That was the timer. Did anybody hear that?
No, it already went off.
You didn't hear that crazy timer? That was
No.
scary. No, let's go. Keep going.
Okay.
Who cares?
So casting takes about 4 months. And in the beginning, you know, what I really wanted to do with the show was have people from all walks of life, all different age groups. So the first couple of seasons, we had like a 20-something-year-old, and we also had like a 60 or 70-something-year-old. We did a wide range, brothers, sister, cousins, aunts, uncles, divorced, whatever, anything and everything. And so the casting process takes about 4 months. And we have an incredible casting team. Lynn Spillman cast our show for many, many seasons. And they, in the beginning, we used to get VHS tapes, if you can remember back that far. Like, so I have photographs of like, the mailman would come in like Santa Claus with bags and bags full of casting tapes, and we would have tables set up with casting associates just looking at all the videos. Now people upload their links.
Sure, much easier.
Like that. And basically thousands of people apply for the show. We look for people who have like type A personalities, but not just one. You need 2 people that are pretty dynamic. You can't have like a wilting flower on the side like as your partner. So we want to see some dynamic between the 2 people, you know, good sense of humor, because you have to have a sense of humor to do this show, or else.
Oh yeah,
100%.
You know,
you gotta, do you do anything, like, obviously you need to be somewhat physically fit to be going through all of this, or does not matter?
I like to think it doesn't matter, but you know, there are some strength challenges. It's difficult because you have to make the challenges fair for everyone, right? From all different ages, all walks of life, all different abilities. It has gotten a little more physical over the years because we've literally had to amp up our challenges because people expect it. And I remember season 1, the contestants showed up with jeans on, and I was like, well, that's going to be tough to run in snow and ice and rain. One guy had a pair of rollerblades, and I was like, where do you think you're going without your partner on the roller? Like,
I love that. Well, let me ask you something. Do you, like, once they're cast, do you give them like a packing list? Do you tell them things they should or should not bring? Or is it like...
No, it's pretty much, you know, they've watched the show, so they kind of know what to expect, but we go through all different types of weather and terrain and landscapes. So we just say, be ready for anything. The only time we really supply them with something is when we're like sub-zero and we're like up in the Arctic Circle, and it's too cold for anything that they would have ever brought. So
does anybody bring anything that you're like, yeah, no, like contraband? I don't know. Does anybody ever bring anything?
No. We have, well, I will say curling iron and a hair, you know, a straightener. I was like,
where are they going to plug it in?
Are you kidding me? So it was a.
But every season, there's girls that are so glammed.
They are. They get the fake eyelashes put on in advance. They do everything they can to kind of look good. But you know, sometimes they're sleeping in a tent in the middle of nowhere. But nobody's ever brought the bad stuff. So we've been we have warned them. They will go to jail. There's nothing we can do to help them.
So then that leads me to my next question. Okay, so have you ever had to bail anybody out of jail, or have you caught people having sex, or they should, like, with another team member, with somebody else's? I mean,
yeah, we've had some relationships start. We've even had contestants get married, like from different teams. Like one girl went with her dad, and I think the guy went with his sister, and there was a hookup and they got married. So there's some love stories for sure. We've had a few contestants lose their passports, and we've had to eliminate them because there's nothing we can do. We have had them go into areas where, you know, police have shown up. We're like, you can't go in this neighborhood. So there have been a couple times where we've had to like guide them off the really, if they get really lost, they've wound up in some places that maybe not be so safe. So we're like, we do travel with a security team, so they keep an eye on everybody.
So Les, I'm going to ask her one last question, and then I want to talk to her about the hot topic for a minute before we have to let her go.
More questions I have. Okay,
I know, me too. But Elise, do you ever place bets on who you think is going to win? And I'm not saying you wager. I'm sure that wouldn't be okay. But are you ever like talking to Bertram and saying it's going to be these two, and he says no, it's going to be these two?
We always try to guess. We always guess. And
are you ever right?
we rarely get it right, to be honest. We rarely get it right. It's amazing how this show just twists and turns along the way, and you never know who's going to win. And it's amazing to see how people bicker and bicker, and they suffer because of that, because they can't make a decision. The people I find that do the best are the ones that can really get along well, communicate well, and have also enjoy it. You know, they like take in where you are. You're in Iceland, you're in, you know, Tahiti, or wherever you might be. Like, just take it in and say hello to the people, be friendly, be kind, and you will be treated the same. So try to, I know it's stressful. There's $1 million at the end of the line, and it's a very good chance, you know, that you're going to win it, because there's not a lot of contestants.
Right.
Try to be in the moment and enjoy it.
That's amazing. All right, wait, can I ask one more question?
Do it, Les.
Listen, I know that we're not supposed to talk politics. So anyways, you've been a million places I mean, I feel like you've almost probably been everywhere there is to be in the world. Bertram certainly has. I know that. I can't even imagine what your passports look like. No, I have like 2 little pages stamped. That's it. But so let me ask you something. If of all the places you've been, assuming we needed to get out of this country for
whatever reason,
few months, where would you love to go? Where would you want to live? So that I know where I'm supposed to go if things go wrong in November.
Well, I don't think I could really go there, but I think Canada's really easy to just get up and over.
We can easily get up there. My mom's a Canadian citizen, I think. She needs to check into that.
What about Holland, where Bertram is?
So my husband's from Holland, and he has family over there. So our daughter automatically has a Dutch passport. I can get one because we're married, haven't done it yet. I think things are probably backed up at the passport office, but Holland would probably be number 1. And number 2, because I am of Italian background, I would love to be in Italy right now. So Europe, we would go to Europe. You know.
Me too.
If they would have us.
Yeah. By the way, we're not allowed to go there right now.
So Les, we only have a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just say this. Elise, we had a word of the day. I wasn't certain that it was going to come out with you. You didn't say it. The word of the day was fear.
Oh.
I don't know. That could have come out, but it didn't. Had you said it, on my horn, but whatever. You didn't say it. Okay. So our topic of the day today was the new polite. I think we're just like Lisa and I, we're living in a strange world where everybody's, you know, well, I mean, this is how we're communicating for the most part. People are wearing masks. You can't see anybody's face. I mean, like, you can tell if somebody's smiling.
Not really, though.
But not really.
And I'm such a smiler at people at the grocery store, even in cars. Like, it's so weird not being able to smile at people.
It is, and they can't tell. I had a moment where I was smiling at somebody at the grocery store, and I realized that they probably didn't know I was smiling, and I felt kind of bad about that.
Just think you're staring at them creepily.
Yeah.
I know. You can't shake anybody's hand. You're not supposed to hug anybody. I mean, I'm such a touchy-feely person that the thought of not being able to touch somebody is so strange to me. But it's like we're living in this is our, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's our new normal. You know, Izzy and I was telling Lisa, Izzy and I came out of a doctor's office the other day, and she like just let the door slam behind her. And my first instinct was to be like, that's so rude. Somebody's right behind you. You open the door for them, or you rather hold the door. And then I was like, no, don't hold the door for anybody. Just walk away.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to open a door so I can slip in behind them. You know, I don't even want to touch it, or you know, we're all walking around with hand sanitizer and sprays and wipies. And
I freak out going into an elevator. I always pray. I'm like, oh, I hope nobody else goes in with
elbow or a right. You know, my car looks like, you know, a PPP stage. What is, you know, it's filled with, I've got like masks. They're either in a box or on the floor for the used ones. Cause then I'm like, I take it off and I drop it on the floor. My car is just masks and rubber gloves and sanitizer.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Masks, rubber gloves, and sanitizer.
But that also begs the question, when will you be able to shoot again, do you think?
Yeah, that does. It's been hard. You know, we were in the middle of filming season 33. We had to shut down production in March. We were on filming episode 3. and things were spreading. And no, it was actually the end of February we got home, not March. End of February, we were one of the first productions. Bertram was already overseas. I was still home, and he called CBS and he said, "This is not going to be okay out here. We need to be safe, because safety is number one, right? We don't want to have any issues." So they want us to finish the season. Of course, we have all the creative ready to go. The contestants want to go back out again when it's safe, when we can get back out there again.
Wow.
Vaccine. Because, I'm happy they're airing season 32 right now, because I think we all need a little virtual travel.
You have no idea how happy I am that it's on. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's been good. And we've been getting a lot of great feedback. I think people are just really dying for something to come on television that's new and outside of what we see in our everyday lives, because we all really can't travel, or we are trying not to,
We'll live vicariously through you and Bertram still.
Yeah.
All right, we got to say goodbye.
I know, we got to say goodbye. I could sit here forever and talk, but then that's
too.
my problem in general.
Let's do part 2. I'm up for anything. This is
amazing.
Well, let's just have Elise back on every episode.
I love it.
Sure, we can find things to talk about, right?
Absolutely.
We definitely could. Elise, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in. I mean, your background is beautiful. You're beautiful.
Aww.
Those Emmys, man.
Those are beautiful.
Those are beautiful.
You were both lovely to talk to anytime.
Thank you. Now you must remove yourself from it.
Remove yourself so we can talk about you.
Okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. All right. Ready?
Yep. Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about them.
I'm the worst with these. Listen.
I know, you got to do that better. Isn't she amazing? I hate to use the word. It's ridiculous.
I know, that's hysterical, but I could genuinely talk to her all day. Not just talk to her about the show, but like talk to her.
Oh, yeah.
Les, have you ever stayed in a hostel?
Do you know who I am?
I know. Just the name. It's like a hostile environment.
It's a terrible name, by the way. It's not welcoming or appealing, so I don't know why anyone would want to. No, I'm a snob. I admit it.
Yeah.
I was a snob as a child. I'm a snob as an adult in the best way.
You were a snob when you were born. You'll be a snob when you die.
Darling, I'm a snob.
I'm going to tell you, Les, we've talked a lot.
Yeah, is our show over?
I think we need to wrap it up.
I think we do too.
Have had enough. But listen,
maybe we need to do an hour show. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Please.
What if we did a 24-hour talk show where
that would be amazing.
It's almost like a filibuster where we just keep talking.
It's a talk show telethon / filibuster. I love that. I think that's hysterical. And we could have a guest on every hour. But
do one of
that. Please subscribe to the channel. Please log on and watch. We would also love to hear your comments, guests you would like us to have on, questions you would like us to answer. What else, Les?
I mean, I'm excited. I can't, I want to just continue to do this. I would do this every day if we could. I hope people will watch. I think we're interesting. And if you don't think we're interesting, tell us why and tell us what you'd like us to do to change.
Oh, you're inviting some shit that I'm not going to read, but sure.
Okay,
if you want to tell Lesley why she's not interesting, let her know. I just want to hear good stuff. I'm kidding. All
right. So listen.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Lesley. And thanks for watching. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Push leave. I'm going to push